This is Inside Badger Football with head coach Trey Shucker. Inside Badger Football is brought to you by Bell Wealth Services, Welch Funeral Home, Austin Wingfield State Farm, Southern Bank Corp, Southwest Sporting Goods, the accounting firm of Turner, Rogers, Manning, and Plyler, Taylor King Law, Price and Company, Doctors Rob and Gary Rucker, Eccles Thompson and Kneebone, Certified Public Accountants, South Central Connect, Java Primo, Southwest Auto, R&T Dixon Enterprises, Arkadelphia Tire and Outfitters, Patterson Federal Credit Union, Batson Signs, Print Mania, Agent Jake Knight at Pennington Insurance, Cry Like Pro Elite Realty, and Sheffield Music Company. The host of Inside Badger Football is Chase Hartzell.
Hello and welcome back to a new episode of Inside Badger Football with Trey Shucker. I'm Chase Hartzell, and as always, we're joined by Arkadelphia head coach Trey Shucker. Coach Shucker, welcome back.
Great to be here today.
Well, it's been a couple weeks since we last talked, but after the bye week, not much has changed. It's another win for the Badgers, now 3 in a row, the latest coming on the road at Waldron.
Yeah, it was a really good win for us. It's really good to see us play that well on the road. You know, I talk about it all the time. You know, to win championships, you've got to win well you got to play well on the road. You got to win games on the road, and we did that and accomplished that Friday.
And in this game in particular, it seemed like all three phases were working together very efficiently. The defense was making some good stops. Special teams, when they were called on, they had some great returns. PATs were converted every time out, and it was a busy night for Seth Molinari as well. And then the offense taking advantage of short fields, and even when they had the longer fields, it seems like they always found a way to make the plays.
That's exactly right. You know, and I think, you're seeing us, just like you're saying, all three phases are working together, creating good field position. Our offense is taking advantage of what defenses are giving them, executing the plays that are called, it's resulting in points. Our defense is doing a really good job creating turnovers, keeping offenses from putting together long drives. Our special teams is doing a really good job of creating plays, and it's just all three phases are working together. And to me, it really comes down to the practice. I thought, and I told the team this all week, every day, I thought we had the best week of practice that we've had up to this point of the season. That's very encouraging. The kids are energetic. They're really getting after it. Not that we haven't been. It's just a little extra pep in their step. You can tell, the team has gotten a couple wins under their belt. They're starting to feel better about themselves. They kind of get, those first 3 games, kind of can bog you down a little bit if you're not ready for that. We're never expecting anything like that. But our kids did a really good job bouncing back, after now that we're this deep into the season, getting a couple wins under us, really kind of re-energized us, and I thought it really translated into our practice play. We were really doing a good job executing, transitioning, overall the best week of practice that we've had yet, and we saw it translate to the field, and that's how it works.
And looking at Waldron, one of the particular challenges of that game, especially being on the road, is the road trip itself, because that's a 2-hour bus ride up there and back. But the team really seemed locked in. What allowed this team to be mentally prepared, not only to go out there and win, but to go over that long distance and still stay locked in all the while?
Yeah, I think it still goes back to just the practice. The overall week of practice was great. Our kids were prepared. They knew what to do, felt confident in everything that we had going into the game, and they were able to go accomplish it. Very proud of our team for being able to handle a long road trip like that. 2-hour road trip, that can kind of wear on you a little bit sometimes, but our kids handled it. Very, very proud of them. That's a situation that you can sometimes get into in the playoffs. We've been able to handle that a lot in the past. It shows the maturity of our team, and just very proud of our kids for being able to handle the road trip and take care of business.
Well, it was a successful road trip for the Badgers, and now we're going to take a look at some of the highlights from the Waldron game. You talked about that energy, Coach. It was evident even from the run out in this game that the Badgers were ready to play Friday night.
Yeah, we really were. We were excited, coming off the bye week, just ready to get back after it and get back to a Friday night game. Just a very exciting night. We made the 2-hour trip. You got to play well on the road, and we did that tonight. really started off from the very first kickoff. A really good kick. Seth Molinari's done a really good job. Sophomore kicker putting the ball in good spots for us to be able to cover down. Our guys have done a really good job getting the top speed on our kickoff unit and then making the tackle on the play when we're there. You know, we thought we did a really good job of making tackles, especially in the first half. You know, our first group of guys went out there and brought the energy, flew around, just like they've been doing all year. We tried to get we tried to block the punt. We almost get to it, created not a great punt, but an easy one to field for Braden Wagner. And you see him, he did a really good job. We've seen him the past couple weeks take some punt returns and create some good field position for our offense. And that's really what it did, create a good field position. He almost scored himself, but the offense is able to execute a couple plays and then put the ball in the end zone, and it just kind of took off from there. You know, we kind of smelled blood in the water, and you know, really when we do that, it just kind of goes. And you know, that's what you saw Friday. You know, again, really good job on our cover down, trying to get down the field as fast as we can, trying to create good field position for our defense to take the field, and we did that. Started with a good kick by Seth Molinari, and then our defense, you know, we knew they were a run-heavy offense. We were prepared for what they did. You know, we want to be violent, we want to be aggressive, we want to fly to the football, have great pursuit, and then make the play when we get there. And I thought ultimately that's what we did. You know, we knew that there was going to be some wrinkles here and there, and that was one of them. You know, they did the fake punt, but our defense did a really good job of recognizing it and then going and executing what they needed to do to keep them off the field. Puts our offense in really good field position again, giving us a short field. We executed a few quick plays to score, you know, get the ball in Jay Purefoy's hands. One of our faster players. He's able to outrun the defense to the edge, gets around, great blocking on the edge, great blocking up front on the plays. Just really good execution overall. And then Seth Molinari did a great job with his PATs. You know, he's 100% on his PATs for the night. You know, this was a huge play for us, again, creating the momentum and the energy and the just senior defensive tackle, KD Young. He's been having a great conference season, creating plays. You saw him scoop and score that one. He's a heck of an athlete. He also is going to be a running back in our heavy package, you know, our goal line set. Just how athletic he is. He's just an extreme athlete at the defensive tackle spot and also physical. You know, this is something that we can take away from the game as well. You know, we've got all the momentum. Everything's been smooth, not easy, but smooth. We've got to maintain that, and we've got to keep doing it. You know, that's one thing right there. They were able to put a really good kickoff return together. Our kickoff unit has been a really strong suit of our special teams all year, and they just didn't execute on that one play. But that was a really good heads-up play right there by Braden Wagner. They tried the onside kick, it touched one of their defenders, one of their players, and then so Braden knows it's a live ball or a free ball, and goes and tries to make something happen and get some extra yards if he could. Gives us good field position again, offensively. Put a few really good plays together, execute, and go score.
And this was really the point in the game, especially offensively, where D'Angelo Buckley started to take over. That's not a glitch in our highlights. If you keep seeing him over and over in the end zone, he was there frequently in the late first quarter and early second quarter.
Yeah, he did. He had a really efficient night with 3 rushing touchdowns. You know, again, back to that kickoff coverage, you know, Nick Williams able to get down. He was the first one to the returner, and then made a really good play, open field tackle, you know, creating good field position for the defense to take the field. Again, you know, we field the short punt. Braden Wagner, again, able to get around the offense, trying to create good field position or score, and he wasn't able to score, but create a good field position for offense to take the field and go make something happen again. You know, that was a good catch by Maddox Atkins, senior wide receiver for us. He's been really sure-handed this season for us, did a really good job of just being a good possession receiver, making the catch when we need it, and that was one for us, and you saw him just create the play that he needed to create. Cade McBride got a read, or a pull read, You know, when he gets a pull read, he's a really good runner himself. He wasn't asked to run the ball much Friday. That was one of the few, but when he did a really good job. And then again, just like we were talking about, D'Angelo Buckley finding the end zone again up front, did a really good job controlling the line of scrimmage. Those guys have progressed throughout the season, just very confident in what we've got up front, being able to control the line of scrimmage.
We did see Waldron mix up the play calling a bit here. Hadn't seen much of the pitch this year from the Bulldogs, but they implemented that as well as a few fake passing plays too.
They did, and you know, we knew that there was going to be something different going into this game that they're going to throw at us or do, and you know, we just kept telling our defense, keep being aggressive, stick to the game plan, but be ready for something different from what we've seen. And when they did, you know, we knew that there was going to be some wrinkles. They showed it. Our defense did a really good job of handling it. Again, really good run by D'Angelo Buckley. You know, up front, as you can see, you know, the line of scrimmage is being handled by our offensive line, doing a really good job of recognizing the front and then being aggressive run blockers.
And at this point, it is 42-6. This is going to be one of the more sustained drives of the night for Waldron, and it's really a testament to this Bulldogs offense because they run the ball and they run the ball hard, and they've got a couple of different guys who can break off some big plays, and we'll see that as well later in the broadcast.
Yeah, they do. They played very hard. It was their senior night. You know, Coach White over there, it's his first year over at Waldron. You know, bringing his offense over. You know, they're going to progress the longer he's there, and you can see that his kids are playing hard. You know, it'll get better for them as they go. You know, that offense that they run takes some time to fully implement and install and to get good at. And, you know, as you can see, this is the first year in it for them, and they're still trying to work through it. And but they're playing aggressive. They're playing physical. You know, I just thought I was very proud of our guys for matching or exceeding that physicality. Big play right there by K.D. Young, senior defensive tackle. He was the scoop and score guy earlier. Just having a really good senior season by him. We're able to get some more guys in the game anytime we get an opportunity to rotate and get some guys in that are normally not getting the main reps on a Friday night. We love to do that. Those guys work just as hard in practice as the first group. You know, they're part of the game plan process and ready to execute just like anybody else. And then you see big throw from sophomore quarterback Maddox Finley to L.J. Brown, senior wide receiver. Really good job showing his athleticism. He's a long receiver. He's had some really good catches this season, and he's progressing as the season goes on as well.
So now 49-6 Badgers, and even though there's a sizable advantage on the scoreboard, one thing you'll notice throughout this game is that the defense never let up at any point.
They never did, and you know, our guys that we've got over there are aggressive. They're very good tacklers. They fly to the ball, and you know, that's how we want to play defense as a whole, and that's what we talk about. It doesn't matter who's in, and this is what we talk about in any phase of the game. It doesn't matter who's in, the expectation's the expectation. So when you get your opportunity to go in, take advantage of it and play Badger football. Our guys did a really good job of taking angles to the carrier right there. You know, I know it was a bad snap, put them in a tough situation, but our guys did a really good job of getting to the ball and getting them out of bounds right there. And then our offense took the field with good field position and did what they had to do. I know you weren't able to see it right there, but got a touchdown by a sophomore wide receiver. You know, Jackson Jester. We used him at the tight end spot in that play, but really good job executing the play. Nice throw and catch, Maddox Finley to Jackson Jester. You know, anytime we see this type of offense, we know they're going to try to be more physical than us. So we take that as a challenge. We challenge our guys to be the most aggressive and physical team, be aggressive tacklers, and I thought we did that, over the course of the night, because they're playing physical, they're firing off the ball, and we're doing the same. And when I thought, the next guy's in, did the same thing, and this was a busted play for us. We got out of position. That's a good learning point for some of those younger guys, and things that we can learn from moving forward. In every game, doesn't matter the score or the outcome, there's things that we can learn from. That's one of those. That was the same guy that ran the touchdown back in the kickoff return for them earlier. He's a really good player for them. And so when you go against good players, you've got to do the right thing. When you're in the right spot, you got to make the play.
And that right there was the last play from scrimmage in this game. Final score in this one, Arkadelphia 56 and Waldron 12. Coach, one more thing I wanted to talk about from those highlights, though. On both scores, they were big chunk plays. But one thing that you noticed, especially from these younger guys, is that they didn't shy away after giving up that score. They went right back out there for the 2-point conversion and denied the Bulldogs both times.
That's exactly right. Those young guys, they understand the mentality that we're trying to have as a defense, the same mentality as an offense. They've done a really good job of figuring that out, and now they're starting to show it. They've pretty much had a full season now with as many JV games that they've had, and then being a part of the Friday nights. Those younger guys, you're starting to see more and more of them ready to take a role on a Friday night, and they're starting to show that when they get in there. And so that's exciting to see. But the offensive stats for the game, very efficient night, really led by senior running back D'Angelo Buckley. He only had 4 carries for 3 touchdowns. It's pretty efficient. Kyle Reed came in, got 4 carries with a touchdown. Then Clary McClinton had 5 carries and a touchdown. Both quarterbacks that we have, senior Cade McBride threw a touchdown, and then sophomore Maddox Finley threw a touchdown as well. Wide receiver Jay Purefoy also had a receiving touchdown, and then Jackson Jester, sophomore wide receiver, had a receiving touchdown. So we did a really good job of spreading the ball out. We mixed 50-50 run pass, just really balanced offense for the night. Very, very good execution. Defensively, a lot of tackles, especially whenever you're playing an offense that runs the ball heavy. You expect the box players to make a lot of plays, and that's exactly what you see. Sophomore Skylar McClure, 8 tackles, 3 for a loss. Linebacker Chase Vandenborg having a great senior season himself, leading our defense, 8 tackles. DB Nick Williams plays safety for us, 8 tackles. He's a sure tackler as well, one of our better tacklers as a whole. He's huge in the special teams in our kickoff unit as well. KD Young, defensive line, we move him around the D-line, but we ask to play defense tackle. 7 tackles. He also had that scoop and score, 40-yard touchdown. Anytime you get to score on defense, it's huge for momentum, putting points on the board. It just creates a big deficit, and that was huge for us at that point of the game. And then linebacker Q Morris, 6 tackles. He's been able to get quality reps. He's been a big attribute for our defense, and he's starting to play Badger football the way that it's supposed to be played. Same thing with Malachi Hamilton, Keeson Wimberly, Orion Roberts, Caden Brown, starting middle linebacker. Does a great job of getting us lined up. And then sophomore Whit Alderson as well, defensive end for us, been a starter all year. Just brings the fire every single play. He's a tough kid, one of our stronger players as well. So a lot of big stats on the night. That's the result of the preparation that our kids had throughout the week in practice. They had a great week of practice. They brought the mentality that they needed to prepare, and then you get the result whenever you have that. So very, very proud of our guys for how they prepared this past week, and just being ready to play and play Badger football the way it's supposed to be played.
And we've talked about it already on the show, but really in this game, it seemed like everybody was contributing. This was truly one of those team wins where it felt like everybody was getting in on the action. You saw the stat there, 213 offensive players getting their hands on the ball. Almost every defensive player that was out there on the field the other night, they were recording tackles or making big plays. Special teams, it seemed like everybody that got their hands on the ball was making a big play. When you have everybody contributing, That's going to create success, but it also makes it a little bit tougher when you have to select those standout Badger players of the week.
It does.
But that's exactly what you did this week.
Yeah, it does. But it's very, very exciting to be able to do that. Anytime it's tough to pick players of the week, that means it was a good night for us. Offense, senior running back D'Angelo Buckley, 3 touchdown runs on 4 carries, huge for us for the night. Defense player of the week, senior defensive lineman K.D. Young, had the scoop and score. Also had a lot of big tackles on the night, big stops. He's always a force from the defensive perspective. And then special teams player Braden Wagner just had the really big returns in the punt returns that put us in good field position. He's a dangerous returner. We'll see how many teams punt to him moving forward in the future. And then our Badger Spirit Award winner is Kristen Shacklin, our athletic trainer. She does a great job of getting our guys prepared. It doesn't matter what it is. She's always there for us. She puts in so many hours for our program with junior high, with JV, with 8th grade games, with Friday nights. Just always there for our players. Brings a positive attitude every single day of it. And then, just making sure our kids are taken care of ultimately. And that's what she does a great job of.
Certainly a deserving winner of the Badger Spirit of the Week award. Congratulations to Kristen and all of this week's winners. Speaking of winners this past week, we're going to take a look at some of the scores from around the conference. This was one of those rare nights this season where every team in conference play was active in playing another conference opponent. We broke down the Arkadelphia score already. Ashdown and Nashville a little bit tighter at the beginning, but the Scrappers pulling away in that one, winning 52-26 at home. And then in Malvern, the Leopards taking down Mina by a score of 57-14.
Yeah, you talk to anybody, our conference is a tough conference. Really good teams, very well coached teams, and you got to bring it every Friday night. You got to be ready to play, and it's the toughest conference in 4A. I know there's some other good ones out there, but it's still the toughest conference in 4A.
We'll also take a look at how the standings are shaping up at this point in the season. Arkadelphia and Malvern right there, knotted up. The last 2 undefeated teams left in the conference. They're going to meet the last week of the regular season. Then you've got Nashville and Ashdown, the next matchup for the Badgers in 4th, and Mina and Waldron still looking for that first win in conference play, but still also plenty of football left to play here in this season. But, Coach, let's go ahead and move on to that Ashdown game because this is a team that's had – well, first we're going to take a look at some of the games from around the conference for next week. Waldron at Nashville. Falk will be taking on Mina in a non-conference bout, and then you have the Ashdown and Arkadelphia game with Malvern having a bye. We're going to break down that Ashdown game. Now, you look at the stats, and it's been an up-and-down year for the Panthers. Some younger guys getting some experience, kind of learning on the job. But again, as we've seen in the past, Ashdown is a program that can strike at any given moment and can always give you a competitive game. What can we expect from this Panther squad in 2023?
A lot of the same that you've seen in the past. They've got really good players over there. They play hard. Coach Richardson does a great job over there getting his guys prepared to play, and they always give us a great game. I feel like anytime that we get to play Ashdown, I feel like they play us just as hard, if not harder, than anybody else that they play. They're going to be prepared defensively. They're going to be electric on offense. They're going to have some wrinkles for us. We've got to be able to match and exceed the physicality. They're one of those run-first offenses as well. They will throw the ball. So that's going to be different from what we've seen going against some of the run-first offenses that we've seen. So we've got to do a really good job of recognizing formation. We've got to do a good job making the play when we have the chance. And then, offensively, again, they're going to be prepared for us defensively. We've got to do a good job of executing, and we've got to do a really good job of taking advantage of the situations. We've got to create good field position just like we've done the past 3 games. So field position is going to be huge for us to help our offense get in the end zone.
And, Coach, it's going to be a special night Friday night, not only because it's the first time in nearly a month that the Badgers have played in front of the home crowd, but it's also going to be senior night. Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of special seniors in this program. What has this class meant to this program, kind of going into preparation for that Friday night game?
This group right here has been huge for our program. Their sophomore and junior year, they were part of 2 semifinal football seasons. And this year they're trying to take that extra step to get over the hump of that semifinal hump, trying to get to War Memorial, and they've been resilient. I know the season didn't start out the way that they had hoped for any of us, but they've been resilient. They have not hung their head one bit. They've done a really good job of leading our team and just getting our team to come along and come together. And you're seeing that now. The way we've been playing here the past few weeks is a big testament to those seniors and a result of this great senior leadership that we have. And so, they're battle-tested. It's a battle-tested group of seniors. They've been in big games. They've been in big games all across this state. And, there's still a lot of football left for them.
Resiliency and leadership, especially in times of adversity, that's something that's really a part of the Badger spirit, and I think that senior class embodies both of those characteristics very well.
No doubt, and you can't say enough about them. Just ability to overcome adversity, we've talked about that quite a bit. I thought our team has been able to do that at times for sure. We're getting better at that, and we're just doing a really good job of creating good opportunities for ourselves, and we're taking advantage of it, and our seniors doing a really good job leading our team.
Well, the Badgers will be looking to make it 4 straight conference wins, and looking for another one now at home, and of course getting to celebrate that special senior class. So be sure to come out and support the Badgers at Badger Stadium and help us celebrate this senior class. But if you can't make it, you can catch the game on ArkadelphiaBadgerTV.com. Well, Coach, that's going to do it for this episode, and we'll see you next time when hopefully we have another Badger win to break down.
That sounds great. Go Badgers.
Go Badgers.
Inside Badger Football is brought to you by Bell Wealth Services, Welch Funeral Home, Austin Wingfield State Farm, Southern Bank Corp, Southwest Sporting Goods, the accounting firm of Turner, Rogers, Manning, and Plyler, Taylor King Law, Price and Company, Doctors Rob and Gary Rucker, Eccles Thompson and Kneebone, Certified Public Accountants, South Central Connect, Java Primo, Southwest Auto, R&T Dixon Enterprises, Arkadelphia Tire and Outfitters, Patterson Federal Credit Union, Batson Signs, Print Mania, Agent Jake Knight at Pennington Insurance, Cry Like Pro Elite Realty, and Sheffield Music Company. Inside Badger Football is produced weekly by the Ouachita Baptist University Rogers Department of Communications and the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.